KFile Investigates. In a new report you'll see first out front, the KFile team scoured Kamala Harris's tweets and statements going all the way back to 2017. And what they found was more than 50 instances of Harris slamming Trump's border wall. But now, new Harris campaign ads actually showcase that very wall.
As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border.
But there was really a lot of this was the common refrain during the campaign. You read that quote where she said it was against everything that not only she stood for, everything America stood for, but and she brought this up a lot. Take a listen to just one instance of that in 2019.
Even CNN is going after Kamala Harris. Now, I never thought I would see this in my lifetime, but CNN is doing some journalism here. Now, before we do it, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. CNN calls out Harris for using Trump's border wall in campaign ad after condemning it for years. The CNN said the findings of the report are coming back now to haunt Kamala Harris. Yeah, it's pretty obvious too, because she's blatantly saying that she's been tough on the border, and it's not been true. Now, this is from CNN, guys. KFile: Harris moved to the center on border wall. Asylum contradicts her years of progressive immigration positions. Now, before we get to the video, we got to read a little more because CNN is absolutely tearing her to pieces in this article. Vice President Kamala Harris likes to portray herself as tough on the border and immigration. Guys, it's first sentence already putting in the teeth, sinking it in, telling it as is. Shout out to CNN on this one. Recent TV ads highlight her time as border state prosecutor who aggressively targeted criminal cartels and drug smugglers, as well as her support for the toughest border security bill in decades. That bill, which failed in the Senate in February and again in May, included $650 million for the new border wall construction. Images on the border wall during the Trump administration are featured in Harris ads. Yet Harris has repeatedly criticized the wall over the years, describing it as an affront to hers and America's values. That's literally the job as the president and vice president, is to secure the border. That's part of their job description, and they didn't do it. In the 2019 book, The Truths We Hold, Harris called the wall useless and said it was nothing more than a symbol of monument standing in opposition to not just everything I value, but to the fundamental values upon which this country was built. Now, it goes on to say that she criticized the border wall more than 50 times during the Trump administration, calling it, among other things, stupid, useless, and medieval vanity project. So this is her during the Trump campaign bashing Trump for the border wall. As you remember, Trump was pretty proud of being able to get some of the wall built. He wasn't able to complete it, but he got some of it put up, and that is the portions that Kamala's team put in the ad. And now CNN's like, hey, you're phony, man. This is fake. This was Trump's success right here. It was not yours.
Tonight, KFile Investigates. In a new report you'll see first out front, the KFile team scoured Kamala Harris's tweets and statements going all the way back to 2017. And what they found was more than 50 instances of Harris slamming Trump's border wall. But now, new Harris campaign ads actually showcase that very wall.
As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border.
And on top of critical tweets, Harris also wrote in her 2019 book, quote, "There was a bigger reason to oppose the border wall. A useless wall on the southern border would be nothing more than a symbol, a monument standing in opposition to not just everything I value, but to the fundamental values upon which this country was built. How could I vote to build what would be little more than a monument designed to send the cold, hard message, keep out?" Well, KFile's Andrew Kaczynski joins me now. So, Andrew, I mean, you all.
There's literally a border wall or border for countries for a specific reason. That is to literally and actually keep people out who are not citizens. Now, there's a process that people who want to be citizens have to follow. The immigration process, all right? You can't just come here and shout, hey, asylum, I got a kid here, and you get to go wherever you want. Oh, well, my bad. I made a mistake. You can actually. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Kamala.
Have gone through, scoured an incredible amount of material. Tell me more about what you found.
Yeah, that's right. We found more than 50 of those tweets criticizing the border wall before she used that in her ad. And I want people to take a look at just a few of what she said here. She called it wasteful, useless, a waste of taxpayer money, a vanity wall project, a wasteful border wall, a stupid wall, a medieval vanity project, and an unnecessary wall. And those are really just, I mean, there were more, there's just like 10 or like 50. But there was really a lot of this was the common refrain during the campaign. You read that quote where she said it was against everything that not only she stood for, everything America stood for, but and she brought this up a lot. Take a listen to just one instance of that in 2019.
It's the president's vanity project.
His multi-billion-dollar vanity project called a wall is nothing more than a distraction from the fact that he actually hasn't focused on working people in America. He contrived a national crisis around his big distraction.
All right, so you go through all of that. You've got all the
Focusing on the border wall is focusing on the American people, because the American people say, hey, we want a secure border. We don't want our taxpayer dollars going to people who are not supposed to be here. Take it from a Latino, folks. Take it from me.
tweets, and yet all of a sudden in the ads there's pictures of the wall, and then you went through to look at that wall. Like, what is that specific wall that's in her campaign ads now? And you found something very interesting about this specific portion of the wall.
And I think what's also really remarkable about this is, like, I mean, you heard her talking about it there, Trump's wall in his campaign during his presidency. There was really no greater symbol of Trump's presidency than the wall, and the way that Democrats were attacking him over the wall and his restrictive immigration policies. So we looked in that ad, and if you look at it, that exact area of wall is in Sasabe, Arizona, and that is a portion of wall that was actually built by Donald Trump. It was built in an area where there was not previous wall. It was actually pretty controversial when they were building it at the time. So just to see that, and then there are other.
She's using his wall that he built to say, "Look at what I did." Basically.
And the other images of the wall, we weren't able to pinpoint, but there's telltale signs that was a Trump wall, because there's an anti-climbing plate on top that became popularized during the Trump years.
It's really incredible reporting and important. All right, Andrew Kaczynski and KFile, thank you very much.
Man, shout out to CNN, guys. Y'all doing good right here reporting on this border wall situation with Kamala flip-flopping. She's always flip-flopping left and right over anything. When it makes Trump look bad, she's saying it, right? About the border wall, it's a vanity project. It's against all Americans, yada, 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 all this stupid crap. And then now come the debate, come November, oh, yeah, I love the border wall. We need a border wall. We need stronger borders. That's what all I'm about. You're not about that. You guys have been the worst on the border in history. The worst. Let's check out these comments. Someone says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me the third time would make me a fool like you. Someone else writes, how can this even be a choice? Half of our country is dumb. We demand fair and balanced media coverage devoid of BS. I can't believe people believe these crooks. I call BS on the polling. So we got to go to this Fox News segment, because Donald does not hold back on Kamala and her flip-flopping, especially when it comes to fracking. Take a look.
Will you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking your first day in office, adding the United States to the list of countries who have banned this devastating practice?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah.
So would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes. And I've, again, worked on that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a better businessman than I am. Isn't energy, fracking, oil the lifeblood of the world's economy?
So the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania cannot even take a chance, because that's the real opinion from her. Now, the whole country would go down the tubes if you didn't do the fossil fuel thing. It just would go. And you could do all sorts of other things. But, you know, Germany tried it, and it lasted for about 9 months, and they were going to go down the tubes entirely. And somebody else came in, and I hate to say, they're building a coal plant every single week, and they're building nuclear, and they're doing a lot of things. It's never worked. It never will work. But Pennsylvania can't take a chance that answer is true. But she's been there for 20 years. That's what she's been saying for a long time. And she will do that. There's no chance that she's going to allow it. The election will take place. If she won, you're not going to have any fracking in Pennsylvania. You have 500,000 jobs. Think of that. It's your biggest business. And you get a big majority of your income from fracking. And you have somebody that's not going to allow fracking. She's not going to allow it. You can't take the chance. You have no choice. You've got to vote for me. You've got to vote for me. You got to.
Man, Donald is just on it when it comes to these interviews. This man is a professional, a proven professional. He has battled with everyone. CNN, MSNBC, everyone. Y'all want some of this smoke? He's got it. Let's check out these comments. Yeah, I'm sticking with Trump. I know 100% he won't ban fracking. The U.S. will run like a well-oiled machine when Trump's back in the White House. Yeah, she's a bloody liar. Gotta vote Trump for a bright, beautiful future. We must be unburdened by Kamala. Someone else writes Trump 2024. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather take Trump over Kamala any day of the week. Any day of the week, because when Trump was in office, 2019, back before the pandemic really hit, everything was doing pretty good. It was on the up and up. Low groceries, low inflation, record high job numbers. Everything was doing good. And then 2020, Joe wins. Everything just goes downhill after that. These people will continuously continue to lie when it comes to anything. The border, foreign wars, inflation. They'll tell you straight to your face that, yeah, the groceries are expensive, but inflation is down. So I don't know what you're talking about. Don't believe your lying eyes or your lying ears, because Donald Trump's the reason why we are where we're at today. It's not me. We're not going to take any blame for this, even though they should take blame for this, because for the past 4 years, they've been the one putting us in the toilet. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, guys. Peace.